sat up. Look,
Because y'all
I hit the button.
we drive our VP crazy.
I hit the
Drive
button.
our VP goes crazy. We
I,
drive her crazy.
Elise,
Hit the button.
I hit the button. I hit the button.
And you see the point that I'm smacking you.
Look, I'm like this.
Not everybody knows
I
exactly
can't.
what y'all mean.
I can't hide behind this mic anymore.
I'm gonna smack y'all. Keep talking. I'm writing it down.
And this is coming from what y'all be talking about, by the way. Just what y'all are talking about.
Okay, but you're right. You're right. But see, let me just, before we even get into that, let me just explain. We don't really do it on purpose. It's just one thing leads me and Dame down a whole rabbit hole.
Okay,
It could
so
be one thing.
before you start, y'all started this.
No, but when Lisa,
Straight up, no, all jokes aside, when Lisa started talking about the paper you would have to sign and taking away rights and First Amendment rights, some people need that broken down. Because do people even realize that? Do people realize when you say it's going into this type like communism or this? Do people even know what all that really means? Do people understand that? No, because some of us ain't pay attention in that class, like straight up. So y'all could start even a show where y'all talk about what that means and how it's affecting, and then put in the people that are examples of that, just as Tatiana and whoever else, and say, people pay attention. This is what is happening. And even if y'all did like a Facebook Live on that, you're going to be surprised how, look, the post office, with him trying to control the post office now. That's all part of this, is it not? That's how
it is. No, you're absolutely right.
But I need y'all to put that together for me. I just hearing y'all is how I'm putting that together. But I don't really know the backup to it, like how y'all explain it.
Now that I know that I can edit whatever, we'll just let it play.
I mean, that's like really good. I'm so shocked. Okay,
well,
all right, let me get over myself.
Right, we'll come back to it, but
mad at y'all.
So we'll just go ahead now, and I guess we'll close out the show, and yeah. She mad. She mad with me.
Look, you see, I'm over here like a little kid. I'm quiet like, damn.
I'm mad. That was so good, though. See, it's the stuff that y'all need an after show or something. That was so good. Okay, all right, I'm over myself.
All right, so I'm gonna go here now. Okay,
please do.
All right.
I mean, y'all get deep. Y'all will get it back. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, yeah, that was natural. See how natural that was?
That was very good.
Yeah. All right, we'll add this to the lost tape. We'll add it to the lost tape. We'll put it in the lost file. I'll be on punishment after this.
Yeah, you on your own, because I'm getting right here. And look,
all right, so 3, 2, 1. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope everybody stayed entanglement free.
You petty, bro.
Yeah, I'm a little petty. I couldn't let that one ride. But without getting that one in before we started, because that was a whole movement. And took a whole nother life form within the show over the weekend. My man Will, Will, I love you, bro. You ain't get your life together, man.
Keep your head up, bro. Keep your head up.
She's taking a beating over this whole weekend, man. Black Twitter, these motherfuckers is rough, but I just had to get that out.
What are we going to do? Because we don't want Joe, but we have no choice. But now he getting ready to distract and take away what we getting ready to go, New World Order, bro. New World Order.
Least.
I just can't come. I need to come to.
First of all,
okay.
I really would, and I don't promote violence.
Anytime somebody say that, some violence get ready to come.
You know what I'm saying? That's like, it's like that. We'll say, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but because usually when somebody say that, they're gonna say something disrespectful. I don't promote violence, bro. This bullshit. This bullshit, man. The distraction, the commotion, and just the overall, you know what it for me is? It's the overall ignorance of it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
yep.
Well, what makes it worse is that there's gonna be people out here that's gonna buy into this crap.
Yeah. And there already are.
Oh my God, man. We going to hell in a handbasket. There
are people, because you got the people who said that they weren't going to vote. Right? So you got the whole millennial and the Generation Z who are saying we not voting.
So
Now you got
now-
all those
oh.
votes get ready to go to Kanye West.
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I swear. Ooh.
It just came on my phone.
So he filed for president
He's on the
The
ballot
ballot
in Oklahoma.
in Oklahoma.
Right. So Oklahoma is Trump's state anyway.
I mean, it is, but I mean,
But how many other ballots can
Right.
you get on?
and see, well,
I
that was
think
the
he
whole
could
thing.
go to Florida.
But he already said that. I think he missed Florida, and he said that's why he didn't end up
Okay.
filing in Florida, because that was where he was supposed to go at first.
Mhm.
But I think he missed that, and then he came out with the statement saying that he was withdrawn from running, or the whole idea. Now he was nixing the whole idea. And now breaking news, huh? He on the ballot in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Motherfucker. Man, we going to hell in a hand. We going to hell in a
As
hand.
2020 turns.
Yo,
Yo,
2020 been a hell of a year though. It's me.
What in the? Let's skip 2020 or go back.
Look here, I'd rather go. Can I go back? Because now that we
20
know,
years?
right. Because 2020 is hell, man.
2020 as
Worse.
2020 turns.
It's the worst out here. Oh my God.
Yep. So
Kanye. All right, Kanye. The devil stay busy.
you are not giving these people treatment. So when you test positive, all they doing is saying is to quarantine for 14 days. So 14 days from when? When you found out, or 14 days from what? When is the 4? And what happens after the 4? Because you're not getting the retest.
Right. Well, you'll never know when the 14 days was, because if you've been walking around for weeks with it, well, what 14? What? I done already did my 14 days. So what do you mean stop 14 days, right?
And why won't you retest me to see if I still got it? Because you will never get rid of it.
What? Well, again, this goes back to, like I said, when that little dude Fauci came out and he threw out 3 letters.
HIV.
He said this.
That's when I said.
So, right. So if you don't.
I perked up when I heard that.
Because that was one of those things, like, we had to look at each other and be like, yo, did he
I
just
said,
say?
dang, why would he say that?
Because you know what we lived through when HIV first came out. They had no clue about that.
About what it was, right. So my thing is, even though if you can put those 3 letters out, though, we know now with HIV that you have that for life. There is medication now that can.
You're living with it now.
Right,
Yeah.
you're living with it now. But that just means to me that, so for you to compare Corona or COVID-19 to HIV, that means that this is going to be something that if you get it and when you get it, the potential is you're going to have it for life. So
even though people are testing negative after having it, they still have it.
But you got to remember this. Well,
who's testing negative after having it? Because they're not giving you a second test. Pay attention, because real things are happening above our heads, and we're so caught up in.
I wouldn't even call it above our heads, Lisa. I just think we think it's impossible dismantling or defunding the postal service. And you know what? You think? What did you say, Neil? I think you said what? You think they're just going to stop delivering the mail to people? Yes. Why not? Why is that so hard to think? If everything else is going digital, what makes you think that eventually you won't get mail? You have what we talk about, Mr. Postal, where people are getting their mail digitally sent, and you have a location that's going through your mail for you. Why is it so hard to think? And this is the problem, like I said, what we're talking about right here. People think that it's impossible, but it's happening in front of your face.
Wait a minute. Can I chime in and say this?
I think Lisa was right when she said above our heads, because it wasn't until Damon started talking to me about the post office that I was like, what are you talking about? You know, what do you mean that's happening with the post office? It is above our heads, because laymen like myself who don't really catch this kind of thing, we don't know what's going on. I didn't understand till you started talking to me and breaking that down to me. So imagine how many people, this is a show right here. Forget a show. I think y'all should do this one on Facebook Live. Why? because I'm telling you, everybody gonna chime in on that one. When y'all break it down and say, did y'all realize? Like, I think it's great. Like when Lisa said, it's above our heads. Are y'all paying attention? Do y'all realize if this is what he's doing and break it down, how many people are gonna chime in? Because people don't.
Okay, then I give it to you. Maybe I'm saying it the wrong way. Above our head, to me, it's not.
Because you're
For me.
aware, right, bro? You're involved.
Okay, right, and and that's what I'm saying. So I get what you're saying.
This is where I
get what you're saying. And okay,
y'all are
all right, stop yelling at me.
I'm not aware. I listen to y'all just for learning factor. I get free classes. So that's why I listen. You understand? I am not aware. Y'all are aware. It is over my head. And had you not broken that down to me, and now Lisa's chiming in about it to say more, I am learning. People want that knowledge.
But you have to understand. There's I guess an old saying, the hardest thing to see and believe is what's put right in front of you. And everything that they're doing, this is why I say, and I get what you're saying, it's above people's heads, is because we refuse to see and believe what is being put right in front of us.
That's fair.
The easiest thing to deceive you is to put it in your face, because your mind will not allow you to believe that it's just that easy.
That's fair.
And until you get out of your own head and get out of your own way is the only way you'll see it. That's the only way we'll learn how to unite. And that's the only way we're going to be able to change everything that you just sat here and talked about. From the time that I was a child, I mean, even today as a grown man, I'll give you the simplest analogy. Babe, where's the mayonnaise? Damn, it's right there in the refrigerator. I'm looking right at it. But because it's not where I left it or where I put it, I refuse to believe that it's even there. And we all go through this. We do it with our kids. We do it. I'm a grown man, still do it today. Until you get out of your own mind and out of your own way and accept, you know what? They're locking people up. Get out of your head. Open your eyes, people. This has been happening for years. And this is why with the whole mail thing, oh, they're not going to stop delivering mail. Fuck around. Excuse my, fuck around. You saw that, right? So in New York, they're taking the mailboxes off the street.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
So if you don't think it's possible, wake up. This is real. This is not a movie. This is no game. This is happening real time in our faces. And yet we still think this is not going to happen.
True.
And
Lake Monroe, up there, yes. Yeah, what that was? I mean, and they had this man pinned to the tree.
To the tree, Lise.
And telling his friends, go away, just leave, just leave. Now, why are they still not arrested?
First of all, I'm just asking. Look, I'm not saying we don't have white friends, but in today's climate, why is you the only black person with all these white friends? Because I'm gonna tell you, I got a little upset. First of all, I was mad when I saw it, but I gotta be honest with you. The other thing that made me mad, and I don't know if this is just a black thing, none of his white friends was throwing hands. They was begging and pleading, but nobody was throwing no hands. And they had his ass up against the tree.
Bruh.
So I was a little torn by that.
Bruh.
I'm just saying.
Because why are you filming and they got me clearly down?
Thank you.
He's on all fours.
Thank you.
And he is pinned by 3 men.
Thank you.
To a tree, and you're saying let him go?
Thank you.
We have to advocate for black women. We're everywhere. We're on the forefront. We're on the front lines, unprotected. They're able to choke us out, and people are recording. Like that sister in Detroit. They got the picture of her being choked out by the police.
By the police officer.
By the police officer, man.
Yeah.
And then the pregnant lady that you was talking about being tased, and she was with a man, and he was just taping. We appreciate the tape, but
at some point, I just think we're at the point now where if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But you got to be you got to be willing really to protect our women. Like I said, I do believe that. Like I said, we have already been removed to a point where we feel less than as men already, and our women are always at the forefront of things. But y'all are getting abused and taken advantage of, and like I said, we've got to, unfortunately, we just got to make that decision in that instant. Am I going to protect my wife, my kids, whatever? And if I'm going, because at the end of the day, I mean, I really is at a point where if I'm going to go, I'm going to go. I already got a target on me as a man, as a black man, and I can't sit there and watch my wife be tased or abused. I'm just gonna have to I'm gonna have to jump in and get mine. And what the outcome is gonna be the outcome. No, and that's a whole nother thing that needs to be changed and broken down. This two-party system is the same way that they break down the classes here in America. That whole thing is a farce. Neither one of them, like you said, care about us. All they care about is the economic sway that we as people of color bring. We need to understand that we need to be able to get something in return. If you want our economic power and you want our economic input, then we need to have something back in return. And,
I agree.
and we're not going to get that anytime soon. So I think we may have talked about it before. I'm not saying don't vote, but it'd be interesting to see in this upcoming election, just what would it be like if there was no black participation at all. I'd just be and what would happen in turn, which party would come knocking at our door wanting to ask why, and would we be able to get some type of true change by not voting? I don't really endorse it, and I'm on the fence about it because I think voting is important. Our ancestors, died and fought for us to be able to have this right. But I do wonder, like, what would it be like if we just didn't vote, and what impact would that have on the overall picture here in America, and would that drive someone to also want to come sit down and talk to us, right? Because let's say if you were the loser, right? Let's say, I don't know, the Democratic Party lost. Would the Democratic Party be willing to reach out to us and really sit down and break bread to understand what it is that we want, and give us those things, and work with us to give us those things, if that would even be possible?
Well, I understand what you're saying. I think that this election, because of the sitting president, people are inclined to get this sitting president. The premise of what you're saying and the ideal of what you're saying is spot on, right? Because we have to really realize our leverage, right? We have to really realize what we hold. We have to realize what we hold as Black America. Our vote is sought every year, but the Democratic Party is multi. So they don't have the energy to put into us, because we got Black Americans that's Democrats, we got the LGBT community, we got Latin Americas, we got the women's movement.
Right.
So the Democratic Party does not know how to actually interact with us, because we don't state any demands at all, right? So the Republicans are one note, right? They know that they stand on these ideals and these are their people, and that's it. They don't have a multicultural dynamic situation, right? As the Democrats do.
Right.
Now, people get mad at the LGBT community and say that they hijacking the movement or the women's movement because they hijacking Black America. But my view is different. My view is that these organizations have organized themselves. They have contributed money to these organizations to fight for their causes, right? So the women's movement, they have clout because they are organized. They have money to funnel into their movement. The LGBT community, they're organized. They have money to fall into their community, into their agendas. But here we are, right?
Still
Black
lacking.
America, right? Still the ideals of separation for us, right? Still the ideals of individuality for us.
Right.
Still the, oh, you don't think like me, so I don't rock with you ideas, or you believe in this, so I don't rock with you, or you.
Right.
We don't have that unity,
We
that
don't even have
organization,
that structure.
or that money funneled into one place to get our agendas pushed in, national, state, and local.
Right.
We don't do that. So what we do is say, for someone like you who's saying, oh, I wonder what it would be like if we didn't vote. There's someone listening to this that's saying, even though you clearly said that you believe in voting,
Right.
someone is going to hear that you asked
Actually,
question outside of their mindset.
True.
And already made up
their
mind
Mm-hmm.
that you are not voting, so they don't want to hear anything
True.
that you have to say.
True.
And 100% there's someone that is black, right?
True.
Because that is the way. We can't, we're not open-minded, and we have to pull our money together.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because poor people vote and rich people lobby.
So basically, that's the economics. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand. Your lobbyist, that's the person that you pay to go pay that congressman or that senator to go ahead and do your bidding for your community. I'm just going to throw that out there in simple, plain words. People get caught up on lobbyists. Yeah, we want somebody that we have in our pocket that's going to take our money and go get the things done that we need done with that senator or whoever. It may not be long term. Because you got to change, but you got to have that economic power to do it, because that's what.
Because that's the way the government works.
Exactly.
We would like it not to work according to money. We should be dismantling that whole situation, but we can't. There's so much. You know how we could do, right?
Yeah, we can keep going. But look like you got company, and my wife over here, she was like, "Oh, I didn't know you was." I had the record button on the whole time we've been talking, so. This would be a lost tape or mixtape, or I don't know.
Yeah, a little tidbit, a little snippet.
Yeah. So I started doing this while I'm listening to her. She was like, I didn't know you was recording.
You just tell us to record.
Right. She just told us, right? She just told us y'all should be recording. So that's what I did.
We done got our little hand smacked for not recording.
Right.
I see you.
No, when y'all said mic's out, I thought y'all went on one of your personal things and you didn't record. So I didn't know